going to be limited. Garoppolo, Greenlaw, Mostert, Pettis, Trent Taylor, and Witherspoon. Go ahead.
I mean, in terms of Jimmy, Kyle, has anything changed in terms of your optimism for him on Sunday?
Well, the fact he's coming out today and getting a little more reps, it has. So I haven't seen him yet. I mean, did a good job in walkthrough, and we'll see how he goes. But we're going to throw him in there today, and that'll give me more of an opinion at least.
Kyle, with all the things going around the league with COVID, what changes have you guys made, if any, just in terms of the protocols you guys are following, and how much more, maybe more aware are guys about making sure that they do all the right things?
I think it's just a reminder on how on it everyone has to be. I mean, I think you're as on it as much as you can the first day of training camp, and the longer people go, just human nature, when nothing bad happens, you start to relax a little bit. But I think the reminder for everyone here over these last 10 days just heightens your awareness of it, just like it was the first day of training camp. So the only things that have really changed, just, we can't wear our gaiters in the building anymore. So that's why I got this on. We can wear them on Sundays, but not in the building. And besides that, I mean, guys alone in the hallways got to keep their masks on and everything like that. But besides that, no protocols have changed with what we've been doing.
Hi, Kyle. Two-part question about the interior line. Do you still expect Western Richburg back on the timetable for like week 7 or whatever it is with the PUP list? And with Dan Brunskill next to him, how would you evaluate how he's done so far this year, especially considering the fact that he's pretty new at guard, and I know he had to play a lot of center and kind of mix it up there during training camp.
I am hoping Richburg can get back. I mean, there has been these setbacks, so I mean, I haven't gone out there and evaluated them, but I'm still planning on coming back around that time. And as far as Brunskill and the whole line, I mean, kind of the same thing with how everyone's been doing. I think he's done a solid job. He got a lot of playing time last year at tackle and some guard. But I think just as a whole, we need to be crisper, need to be more on it. I know he did a lot of center throughout training camp and got most of his reps there, and now he's getting more at guard. But he's been good. I think the more we play, the more we keep going, as long as we can all stay healthy. I think the whole line will get better, and Dan included.
2 questions, Kyle. First one is non-consequential. Are you in the press conference room? Because we can't see you.
Oh. That is true. Yes, I am here.
Okay.
There you go.
And then
right,
there you are. Okay, very good. Now we feel comfortable now. The second one, if Jimmy can't go, have you made a decision who would be your starter?
Yes, I have. But I'm going to hold that just because there is a difference between them. And if Jimmy can't go, I'd like Miami to find that out on Sunday. But I've decided that we'll get both of them reps because both of them do have to be ready in case Jimmy doesn't go. But if not, you guys will find that answer on which one's not dressed.
Kyle, there was a report last week, I think, about Nick Bosa and that there was some cartilage damage along with the ACL. What can you tell us about how his surgery, how Solomon Thomas's surgery went, and anything about their prognosis at this stage?
No, you're the king of asking me more details than I take in. I know that it was an ACL. That was the main thing. I know there's some other stuff to both of them, not exactly the specifics, but I do know they both had their surgery, and I know I've been told that both of them went extremely successful, which you rarely don't hear that. But I know it's clean, and that's about all I know. Sorry.
Hey, Kyle, regarding Jimmy Ward's wrist, is that is there any concern he can't play Sunday?
I mean, we weren't concerned at all just because it was just sore. I mean, that's why we didn't talk about it. But today it was sorer, and the fact that it was getting a little worse and not better. We just want to do some tests on it, and I'm pretty optimistic about it. We're doing this more for precautionary reasons right now. But he is going to be held out of practice today, so we'll see.
On Monday, you talked about the aggressiveness of your running game. I think the way I read that is you try to create big plays, big explosive plays through the running game. Can you elaborate on that and just explain what your mindset is when it comes to designing your running scheme? We
come off the ball. We don't kind of plot around, if that makes sense. our linemen come off the ball just as aggressively as our running back comes off the ball, just as aggressively as our receivers do. Sometimes as aggressively as the D linemen do. Sometimes D linemen two gap and play what we call frog stances, and sometimes they're attacking and going right at us, similar to our defense. And that's how our O-line is on offense. And we involve the receivers in everything because we really try to score in every run play. I mean, it doesn't happen very much, but that's the idea of it. Some people, your mentality is a little bit just try to block it for 2 or 3 and see if the back can create and turn it into more. And I think we're just a little bit aggressive with how we come off and attack, which I think does lead to a lot of success, but it also puts pressure on guys too. When you ask guys to do that left and right, it makes them vulnerable to looking bad, which is why I like the guys that we have. They don't sit there and play cautious. They don't, hey, let me not come off the ball and not go all out on this so I can just stay in front of the guy and make sure I don't get a bad grade on whatever you guys read for grades. And then just hope the back can Barry Sanders it and create. Our guys really come off and go for it. And when you do that, you're going to win some and you're going to lose some.
With the new COVID rules in terms of workouts and basically limiting how many guys you can bring in and being able to actually get them in same game week, how do you navigate that? And do you think that's actually tenable for the rest of the season?
I mean, not at the rate we're going, but you hope the luck changes a little bit on that. And no, that's a huge challenge, and that's what we're all working through and trying to figure out how to deal with that. I don't have a better answer on how to do it with the situation our league and world is in right now. But I mean, when you only have so many guys, and they've allowed we have 6 more guys on practice squad, which does help, but that's definitely not the answer. I mean, we've been through that already, and there's guys that are going to be playing on our team that aren't here right now at some time in this year. So that stuff is a big deal. When it takes 6 days to get them in anyways, it makes it harder, and you're also going to be limited with how much you bring. So I totally understand the rules and what we have to do. But yeah, it is a big deal, and it's something that every team's going to have to adjust to and find the best way to make it work.
Hey, Kyle, how did Deebo come out of the game on Sunday? And is your plan to just ramp him up gradually as you go forward?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we want to get him to get out there more, but with the guy who hurt his foot back in the summer and hadn't been out there running enough, had to wait for a long time to do that. Then we had to shut him down for a little bit a few weeks ago, and it just wasn't smart to put him out there a ton. But he looked so great in practice. I mean, he looked 100%. We went into the game with a plan to go 20 to 30 plays, and somehow Wes hit miraculously 25 on the dot, so he was pretty accurate with it. We would love to get more, but we got to be smart with that and see how this week goes with him. But he did a good job. He was ready to go. He made all his assignments, and when he got the opportunity, he broke tackles and made some plays too.
Kyle, what's your assessment of how Kinlaw has done through the first 4 games here?
I think Kinlaw's done a good job. Each week I think he's improved. Going against us all camp, then he sees a different offense each week, which I think has helped him a little bit, starting to understand some of the blocking schemes and stuff of the league. But he's going to have a good career here. I'm real excited about him, and just expect him to keep climbing and getting better as this year goes.
Kyle, within the context of your scheme, how much does the quarterback influence a good rushing performance? For example, when you guys, were at your peak against Green Bay last year, how much credit would you give to Jimmy Garoppolo for making the right reads at the line of scrimmage and things like that?
I mean, that's a lot of pressure we put on them during the week. I mean, that's more about your study habits and going into it. And, we don't ask them to just think of it a lot out there. You call a couple plays, and there's certain things that lead them to one play or the other, just rules that you give them and stuff you can say to them in the huddle and things like that. So it's very important that they prepare the right way and put a lot of time into that. And usually if you prepare the right way, which all our guys have every game, they're pretty automatic in the run game with the checks and stuff once we get to Sunday.
Kyle, there was a play in the second half against the Eagles where it seemed like you were pretty upset about a non-holding call on defense, and it looked like you got almost all the way out to the numbers to complain. So I was wondering, how difficult is it for you personally to let those calls go and move on to the next play, especially as a play caller?
I mean, it's part of the game. You're used to it. I think you get better at it as you get older. I mean, you have no choice. I mean, especially when you're calling the plays. there's a play clock, so it's actually it's a little easier for me when I'm calling the plays. Sometimes I'm going so hard I might scare some of the coaches that I'm gonna black out and not remember I have to do it. But I'm pretty used to it. I can go from 0 to 100 pretty fast, or 100 back to 0, yelling, and then all of a sudden just clicks in and you call the play, and then you usually go back to it. When the defense is up, I can linger a little bit longer because it's going to linger as long as it can, because those things are big deals. They're part of the game, but you're constantly trying to get it right.
All right, last one, folks.
Apologies if you hit on this earlier. What's Richard Sherman's status? Is he going to practice this week? And I think he said that the initial plan, confirming what you said on Monday, was to get him back for the Rams game.
Yes, he was hoping he can get back and practice this week. Just looking at him yesterday and stuff, we're going to hold him a little bit longer. I'm hoping he continues to improve, and I'm hoping he'll be ready for next week. I'd be surprised if he got in later in this week.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Go ahead for Fred.
Hey, Fred, on Sunday after the game, you said that the defense was very pissed off. Now that you've had time to flush it out, what's the mood looking forward towards the Dolphins this week?
We're just really excited to get back to work. I think the Dolphins are a great challenge for us. They're a great football team who's been in a lot of tight games, and so, like I said, it's a great challenge for us. We got to make sure we get back to executing at a high level like we know we can.
Right, obviously, Sherman's production sort of speaks for itself, and it's been talked about how important he is just sort of as a vocal leader. But in what ways do you guys have to adjust maybe your mentality in inside the huddle when he's not out there?
Yeah, Sherms, he's been a great leader for us, and like you said, his production speaks for itself as a football player out there. That's something that, it's hard to replace, but we know this is a next man up league, and guys are stepping up, stepping in, and you just gotta play ball. Like we can't worry about who's out there, who's not. We're gonna ride with who we got, and so I'm looking forward to guys stepping up again this week, and doing their job.
Fred, it looked like Quan was maybe a little bit more comfortable from the jump at the start of this week. Did you see that from him? Did he look more like his old self?
You talking about this past game?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked great. I think he tackled really well. He was on top of his assignment. I think all of us could be a little better in all areas, but he took a good step forward last game, and he can be one of the top linebackers in the league. And I feel like me and him as a duo, we just got to keep getting better and leading the rest of the group.
Fred, executing better was something that came up quite a bit the other day, and you've mentioned it a couple times today. What do you think is kept the defense from executing at a higher level on Sunday?
I don't think it's any. I don't know if I can really put a finger on it. I guess I can't really pinpoint exactly what. I guess it's not like that we're lacking anything. I think it's just guys. You just got to take every single day as serious as possible and be very mindful of every rep that you take when we're out there at practice, in the meeting rooms, and everything you do. I think that's what ultimately leads to execution on game day. Is you got to make sure you're doing it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I think the guys are locked in. I think we're gonna have a great Wednesday practice to lead to a great Sunday.
Right, it seems like you're getting really good production from Kevin Givens, and he plays right in front of you. So I was wondering if you can kind of just tell us what you see from him.
Yeah, Kevin's been outstanding. Early in the season, he's I think he's a guy that probably gets overlooked just because he's not like a big name guy. He was a member of the practice squad last year. He's worked his tail off this offseason to be in great shape and get bigger, faster, stronger, and it shows on tape and how he's been playing. I think he's been playing really well. And we're going to need him. We need all the D linemen. With some of the guys we lost, guys stepping in, stepping up, and I think guys are doing that. We just got to continue to get better each and every day.
We'll do two more for Fred.
Fred, obviously not looking for you to reveal any secrets, but so much was made about the difference the edge rush made last year with Bosa and D when he was able to get out there. Without them right now, do you have to change a little bit of how you play defense, adjust things just because that's not there?
Yeah, we're changing up everything this week. Whole new defense. Like you said, without giving away anything, we're going to play our style of football. That's fast, aggressive. Like I've talked about it plenty of times. Our D-line coach, in my opinion, is one of the best in the league. And he's going to get whoever out there is ready for game day each and every week. And so I'm not worried about that one bit.
Hey, Fred, when you guys are going through what you've gone through the last few weeks, whether it's injuries or a tough loss or whatever, how much of an influence is Kyle Shanahan in making sure that everything, the ship stays afloat and everything's on the right track? In what ways does he help you guys through stuff like this?
I think just being who he is, honestly, he's one of the best leaders I've been around, not because he's doing anything just out of the ordinary. I mean, he's being himself every single day. He's the same exact person, no matter if we're winning or losing. And I think the level of preparation that he brings every single day, you can't help but match that, as a player, because we all have one common goal, to get to that game at the end of the year. But that doesn't happen without, the pain and suffering throughout, every single week leading up to that. And so can't look too far ahead. And I think that's just how it is in this league. You got to make sure you're taking one day at a time. And Kyle does an outstanding job with, like you said, keeping the team laser focused.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
for Carrie if you guys are ready.
I look at the TV.
Yeah.
Hey, Carrie. For some defenses, obviously being undisciplined, facing a mobile quarterback is an issue. Would you say that's been an issue at all, or is that something you guys need to work on going forward, facing mobile quarterbacks?
We just have to be conscious. You know, we have to have GPSs with our rushes and just know that it's possible. Know he can get out and make a play. So we just have to rush with some awareness.
On that same topic, your defensive line is known for being aggressive and pushing upfield. Is it hard to balance that philosophy when you are facing a read option quarterback who might be taking advantage of that?
Your senses just gotta be heightened a little more. You know that they can make plays with their legs. Just accounting for another running back or something like that. So, like I mentioned before, we just gotta have more awareness with rushing the passer and just play our techniques, and it'll take us to the ball.
Carrie, this quote that stood out to me, you said you have to have GPS in your rushes. Is that something that Chris Kacerek kind of stresses, and does he have any other sayings like that to make sure that the rush is disciplined?
That's really a team thing. You know, we know that it's always possible for the quarterback to run out, and we never want to just give up easy first downs or easy runs like that. So just as a pass rusher and as a D lineman, it's just something we're always working on.
Hey, Carrie, obviously you wouldn't have, wish injuries ahead of, to guys ahead of you to give you this opportunity, but, that's what happened. You do have it. And you're playing really well. I mean, just on a personal level, what has this been like, to have this chance and, to be performing like you have been?
It's unfortunate what happened. I'm just really trying to lock in, and just do what I can for the team. And right now, this is my role, and I'm just trying to do it to my best of my abilities.
Carrie, something that came up the other day was a lack of execution at a high level in the game, and Fred Warner was just talking about it today, and everybody locking in a little bit more this week. Do you feel there was anything that was preventing people from doing that before, and do you see a difference in the team today?
No, I think we're good. We're going to attack our issues, and we're going to just get better for the next week. We understand we had some lapses in the game, and we know what those issues were, and we're attacking them and going forward.
Hey, Carrie, before you were a 49er, you played inside and out. And I just want to know, playing alongside Eric Armstead, who does the same thing for the 49ers, what have you learned playing next to Eric, and how would you assess his performance this season?
Man, he's a great player, man. Just to be next to him and just work with him, and his mind for the game is phenomenal. He kind of knows the plays before they happen and that kind of thing. So just being able to be next to him helps my game tremendously.
Anything else for Carrie? All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
You can go straight mask up.
Mask up. I'm gonna take it down so y'all can hear me though.
We're ready for Deebo if you guys are ready.
Can I hear them?
Yeah, you'll hear.
Hi, Deebo.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Great.
I imagine a foot injury makes it difficult to kind of keep up your cardio, to stay in shape. How did you do that over the course of your recovery? By all accounts, you handled it well, but what was the method that you used?
I think we just did a great job here with Ben Peterson, Mike Nicolini, and DP Dustin Perry with the conditioning for us, like biking, like skier's edge. We had like kind of like a trampoline here. We do cardio on that. Really everything possible to stay off my feet to keep my cardio up.
Hey, Deebo, how did it feel to be back? How's your foot, and how hard is it to not be more involved in the offensive game?
Say that again. I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear.
How's your foot feel after the game?
Oh,
and, and also, how hard is it to not be more involved in the offense?
My foot was fine. After a game, it's kind of a little sore because it ain't been in those like type of positions and all those type of things. Just working back into practice last week, and I just play my role. Whatever Kyle asks me to do, I just go out there and do the best that I can at it.
Deebo, do you expect that you'll be able to play a little bit more this week? And then, what did it feel like to get back on the field with Kendrick and those guys?
I mean, honestly, it felt great just to be out there. It all started at practice that Wednesday when I was just going out there and feel the energy of him and Brandon and Wes Worker and all the other guys. But it was just great to get back out there with the guys. And like I just stated a minute ago, whatever Kyle need me to do, I'm gonna go out there and do it, no matter how many snaps it is.
Brandon has gotten a lot of comparisons to you coming out in the draft and especially after this last game. Do you see the same things, his ability to run after the catch and move through tacklers?
I think Brandon do a great job of that. It's good to say that he part of the Yak Bros now. Me, Brandon, and Ayuk, great guys with the ball in our hands. So, I mean, it's just great to have another guy out there that can break tackles and go score.
Hey, Deebo, what was your initial impression of Brandon's hurdle? And, along the lines of the Yak Bros, you have two of these receivers, including you, that run those end arounds. How exciting is that for you? Do you think that could mean even more space for you since Brandon is a threat to do the same thing?
I think it's more space for all of us because now you actually got to cover the whole field with me, Kittle, and Brandon are able to make tackles. You'll know who'll get in and around, who getting the screen. So it puts stress on defensive coordinators of how they're going to game plan us. And the hurdle was crazy. I wish you could go back to the game and see the expression of the whole team of just knowing, like, he didn't even take a gather step just to jump over the guy. It was very impressive.
Deebo, how hard was it for you to be on the sidelines mentally as you're watching the games, and how did you deal with that, and how has your mindset kind of shifted this week?
Being on the sideline, you always got to be like kind of like a coach like Wes is. I mean, no, you can't be out there with the guys. During the games, I wasn't there. So, I mean, we got to kind of like a group message. So every time I see somebody doing a good job or something, I write in a group message, be like, you did a good job, just that and the third. But it was kind of you have your moments where you like, I wish I was out there with my guys, but it's still a blessing to know like the game wasn't completely taken away. So I still got the chance to go out there last week and play with them.
We'll do two more for Deebo.
Deebo, I want to know what you think about Kendrick Bourne this year, just because it looks like he's playing a lot better. It looks like he's evolving as a receiver. So what did you see from him these first 4 games?
The same thing I seen this offseason. Me and KB was very in touch with workout wise. As you can see, this offseason he was probably the best offseason he done had for us, getting in shape, route running, and everything. And you can tell it's showing on Sundays. I mean, he's just going out there and really unguardable.
Deebo, Kyle spoke last week about the energy shift that happened when you went out there on Wednesday for practice, just like you mentioned. Is that a natural thing for you, or were you just so excited to get out there? What is it about this group that brings that energy about?
I mean, it's a thing that carried on from last year. If you just see how the receiver core like energy and dances and all that. So I mean, it's just the thing that we do. We bring the energy to the team and just go out there and make plays.